This video is about solving 2 by 2 and 3 by 3 determinants. A determinant is a value we're going to get from the matrices, and it's just a number. It's what's called a scalar. It's not a matrix, so you're just going to get like 2 or 7 or -4. You're not going to get a matrix when you're done. Later, we're not in this video, but we're going to learn how to use these determinants to solve systems of equations is one of their uses. And if you go further into math in college, there's whole courses that do much more with matrices than we're going to do this year. All right, so how do you find these? As with most of the things in matrices, it's a simple process. So what you're going to do is start in the upper left-hand corner, and you're going to multiply on the diagonal. So I would get whatever those numbers were, I'd multiply them. And then when I switch direction, I subtract and multiply along the other diagonal. And then you would combine them and get your number at the end. Now, yes, this is a formula, but you in no way need to memorize this formula because you just multiply and subtract. And then we're going to expand this to 3 by 3, which is a little more involved. All right, so example 1, we have this matrix 1, 3, 7, -4. Determinants are also denoted by doing straight lines on your matrix instead of the brackets that we have been doing. So we're going to start upper left, multiply those. So we do 1 times -4. And then we're going to do upper right diagonal. But we're going to subtract because we reverse direction. And then we do the multiplication out, -4 minus 21, and we get -25. So that is our determinant value, and that's all we're interested in right now. So I would pause the video for a second and try the next one. And then restart the video and I will do it out for you. Right, so I'm going to do the 2 times the 10 and then subtract as I reverse direction, and I get 20. My negative times negative is positive, so plus 32, and I get 52. All right, so 2 by 2, really easy. Once you got the steps, you can knock these out fast. 3 by 3 is a little more difficult. I'll write the steps here for you to copy down, and then I'll erase them and do the problem out. So step 1 is you're going to copy the first 2 columns next to the matrix. On the right. So I'm going to copy this column and this column over on the side. So that I have room to do the diagonals. Now, if you look up videos on how to do 3 by 3 matrices, there is another method to doing 3 by 3 matrix. I feel like it's more complicated to get down at the beginning. So I like this method, but if you watch a video and you like that method better, go for it. All right, and then step 2 is we are going to start in the upper left, just like the 2 by 2. And you're going to multiply on the diagonals. And you're going to add the 3 numbers together. let me change the wording on that. Add the 3 diagonal together. That would make more sense once I do it, but I'm going to have to erase to get room for that. And then step 3 is start in the upper right. And multiply on the diagonals. But you're going to subtract the 3 diagonals this time. And again, it'll become more clear once we do the example. All right, so pause now if you need time to copy this down. I'm going to erase. Okay, so I have copied over the 2 columns. I'm going to start in the upper left. I'm going to multiply on the diagonal. 1, 3, 1. And then I'm going to add as I keep multiplying on the diagonal. And then you always get happy when you see a 0 because that term's just going to go to 0. So now I'm going to reverse direction because I've run out of diagonals that'll have 3 numbers on them. So now I'm going to start in the upper right at this 4 and then go backwards. But now I have to subtract each time. So minus 4 times 0 times 1. And again, minus because we're going backwards. And the last one because I'll run out of diagonals with 3 numbers. Right. And then really the only way people run into errors is just a lot of numbers to keep track of is writing down the wrong number by mistake. All right, so now we just do this larger PEMDAS problem. So we get 3 plus 4 plus 0 minus 0 plus 2 and plus 6. So we get 7 plus 8, so we get 15. All right, so there is our first example. We'll do one more. Example 4, here I have some numbers. If you want, I would pause it. Try this one yourself if you can, and then check your answer after. So I'm going to copy down the first 2 columns and then multiply on the diagonal, starting in the upper left. And then I'm going to add. And again, add. Now I'm going to reverse direction. So I'm subtracting. See, what is that? 4 times 2, times 2 times negative 1. And lastly, we get 5 times 2 times 3. Right. And for 3 by 3, you end up having 6 terms when you're done if you get all the diagonals. All right, so let's see, we get minus 24. Plus 0, minus 10, minus 0, plus 8, minus 30. Okay, so we get, let's see, minus 34 minus 22, and that becomes minus 56. I hope this video helped, and I will see you in the next video.